so much. Oh, we got our first viewer in here, so that's fantastic. And I see Greg Alexander has just entered our studio. Greg, can you hear me? Give us a wave there. We'll bring him in a little bit later on. But yeah, so tonight we've got a beautiful lineup with the house band, Usual Suspects. And do you guys want to say hello?
Hello.
Hey everybody, happy spring.
Yeah, happy.
It's always
happy
good
spring.
to be among friends, anyway, isn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. And just a reminder: don't forget to send through your requests and put comments through. It's very quiet on the comments side of things right now, so don't forget to. Oh, there we go, Brian. Welcome. Good.
Hi, Brian.
So I'll throw that up on the screen. Why not? Brian, as always, very good to have you with us. And Drew's wearing the right expression for the opening song. This is a Bobby McFerrin classic called "Don't Worry, Be Happy." I cannot even picture the song without a limousine in a room with Robin Williams.
Well, you can dance along if you'd like.
It's absolutely. I mean, this is a classic. When was it? Must have been early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Late 80s, maybe.
Yeah.
My dad preached about this tune, and I just sank into the pew.
He was being cool and relevant, was he?
He's trying to get the young people to chillax.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father's also a preacher, so there are enough sermons where I was doing exactly the same thing. And dare I say it, I have preached enough sermons where I've done that to others. So there we go. Brian's commenting away. Drew, do you want to take it away with "Don't Worry, Be Happy"?
Yeah. What other kind of sentiment do we need anyway after this? All of this. I said I'd put the guitar in a nice hot wash to get it ready and shiny for this evening. So we'll see what happens.
You ukulele your guitar. Oh yeah, I feel like I'm in the way.
Well, you know, Bobby McFerrin does all of this all vocally himself, and body percussion and everything. Every instrument is all just done with his voice or sticking or whatever. So I'd need about 6 of me to achieve that. Oh, well done, thanks, Griff. But yeah, I don't think the world is ready for 6 of me. So I think we'll just stick with this.
The world's hardly ready for one of you two.
Okay, we'll give it a go.
Take it away.
Don't worry, be happy. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In every life we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry, be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no one to make you smile. Don't worry, be happy. 'Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Ooh, be happy. Ooh, don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
That was epic.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff, Drew. Thank you.
And thanks to Louise for the loan of her ukulele. A gift from me to her. I'm so generous with my gifts, you know. Here's a nice ukulele. Can I borrow?
Generous with the gifts are going to circle right back at you, Drew.
Yeah, it's just how I roll.
Drew, is Louise in the ukuleles crew?
No, I think she's kind of in that school that she wouldn't be a member of any club that would have her that kind of style. Possibly.
I'll put Ava McMullen from the UCC music department onto her about joining the ukuleles.
Do. She'd love it, I'm sure.
I thought we got a couple of kind of themes running for tonight. I thought we could use a little bit of this evening to remember and to celebrate and to honor the life of Sir Captain Tom Moore, who we all know passed away. I think, was it yesterday or the day before? For those who don't know, Captain Tom, as he was fondly known, died at the age of 100 from the disease COVID that he contributed so much to defeating. The centenarian veteran inspired millions through his fundraising efforts. He raised, anybody want to take a guess how much he raised? You may know this if you watched your...
I saw the headline, 42 million or something.
Jeez, only 32. 32 million pounds. The World War II vet achieved this by walking lengths of his garden as a fundraising effort. He hoped to achieve the goal of £1,000 in the fight against COVID, but he exceeded that by some margin. So to honor this staggering accomplishment, he was awarded, I didn't know this, the Sportsman of the Year award by the BBC. And he also performed You'll Never Walk Alone as part of his fundraising effort, and it topped the UK charts, making him, according to Wikipedia, which never lies, the oldest individual to achieve a #1 hit. But beyond that, he was inspirational in his outlook on life and the person he was. And he had a famous saying where he would say, tomorrow will be a good day. So I thought it'd be appropriate for us at Soul Sessions to say to Captain Tom, rest in peace and rise in glory. Amen. Amen. There we go. Yeah. And we'll leave it there for now because there's more stuff to be said, but I want us to move through the program. I have done, because of my failing computer, no homework, Mary and Griff, on the songs that you're offering tonight. You've got down Safe Place to Land. Any ideas, any offerings, any words to crack the ice on this number?
Next week, Griff will pick the tunes because I picked them this week and he's had to learn them. And like over dinner, kind of. So.
There you are. He's a quick study.
He's a quick study. No, this one is Sarah Bareilles and John Legend. Griff is John Legend. And no, it's just a nice message.
Doesn't Sarah Bareilles sing Brave? A song from Brave?
She does sing Brave. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. Mary, take it away. Griff, back her up.
Holding your breath is safer than breathing. When letting go is braver than keeping. When innocent words turn to lies, and you can't hide by closing your eyes.
When pain is all that they offer, like the kiss from the lips of a monster. You know the famine so well, but never met the feast. When home is the belly of the beast. The ocean is wilding over your head,
And the boat beneath you is sinking.
Don't need room for your bags. Hope is all that you have. So say the Lord's Prayer twice. Hold your babies tight. Surely someone will reach out a hand
and show you a safe place to land.
Oh, imagine yourself in a building, up in flames, being told to stand still.
The windows wide open, the sleep is on faith. You don't know who will catch you, maybe somebody will. The ocean is wilding over your head, and the boat beneath you sinking. Don't need room for your bags, hope is all that you have. So say the Lord's Prayer twice, hold your babies tight. Surely someone will reach out a hand and show you a safe place to land. Be the hand of a hopeful stranger, little scared but you're strong enough. Be the light in the dark of this danger, till the sun comes up.
Be the hands of a hopeful stranger, little scared but you're strong enough.
Be the light in the dark of this danger,
Till the sun comes up. Be the hand of a hopeful stranger, little scared but you're strong enough. Till the light in the dark of this danger, till the sun comes up.
till the sun comes up.
Beautiful. Never heard it before. I loved it. John Legend is a bit of a legend, all right. As are you, Griff. You did him justice, in fairness to you.
Yeah, sorry if I was singing too loud there. I was channeling the legend. I was going to say, and Augie and I have a new term, a new pronunciation of legendary that is beyond legendary.
Okay.
When you really love something, you say that is legendary.
Okay.
All about the emphasis.
Legendary.
It's not your vocabulary, it's your emphasis. There we go. There we go. Brilliant. Brian Callan says, Brian, thank you. Carry on commenting. That was absolutely fantastic. We are going to go to Greg Alexander to come into our studio, but not before Drew plays a song that Greg requested when I asked. And that song is Open the Eyes of My Heart, Lord. So Drew is going to lead us in the song. And then from there, we are going to bring Greg into the studio. I am on tenterhooks here because my audio keeps on coming and going. It is a wild ride, this end of the studio, but we'll just close our eyes, pray, and get through. Drew, over to you.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. High and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing glory, holy, 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 holy. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, 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 holy. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
Drew, thank you so much. That was absolutely fantastic. Greg, welcome.
Well, thank you. So far, this is really enjoyable. It's like one of the radio programs that I listen to and would love to be part of.
Well,
And now you are.
So here I am.
You made a wish upon a star.
I noticed last week or the last time you did this, there was a lot of talk about hair, and I just felt really out of it, you know?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, weren't you supposed to wear a hat? You told me you'd wear a hat tonight.
Yes, make Dunmanway great again. Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't quite have the same ring. Mindaga.
You
Great.
see,
It is so.
you could work out what that would be. I couldn't do that.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. Greg, it is so good having you with us. For those who don't know, Greg is a minister in the Methodist Church, serves down in West Cork, the societies of Jimmer League and Dunmanway. That correct, Greg?
And Skibbereen.
I knew. I got 2 out of 3, man. It's still a pass and Skibbereen. But Greg,
You'll never be welcome in Skibbereen again.
I was hardly welcome in Skibbereen before that, before the omission. Now it's certainly off the table. Greg, we've got a couple of questions we want to throw at you. They get more serious as they move. The first is, and I'm sure the rest of the guys on Soul Sessions, especially the usual suspects, are so sick of this. I want you to answer a quick questionnaire, multiple choice, Greg. These questions are designed to dig deep and reveal our guest's truest self by drawing on responses to the full spectrum of human experience. It is scientifically invalid, of course. Yeah, brilliant. Everything possibly worth knowing has been distilled into 15 questions. We will know the full measure of who Greg is at the end of this multiple choice questionnaire. Are you ready to take it, Greg?
Well, 15 questions. Do I get €1 million at the end? If I get them all right?
Greg. Can anybody else hear?
I've got me. Have you got me?
This is terrible. I cannot hear a thing. I've gone completely blank on my audio. Let me try something here quickly.
I'm here.
See if that works.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Because I just completely like nothing, like absolutely sound gone. It is terrifying, let me tell you, to be fine 1 second and then just absolutely gone the next. So, Greg, I'm going to fire these questions at you. I know you're pressed for time. You've got a Bible study at 8 o'clock. So we're going to do this quickly.
Yeah,
Best sandwich, Greg.
Best sandwich, ham.
Oh, okay. Straight down the middle on that one. What's the one thing you own that you should really throw out?
Most of my clothes.
Most of your clothes. I don't want to say it, Greg, but I think that's a very, very good answer. I've seen you a number of times. And joking. Next question. What's the scariest animal?
Oh, lion.
Lion. Okay. Good African lion there. Apples, oranges?
Oh, oranges.
Oranges. Okay. Drew's with you on that one. Drew, correct? Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever? 6. This is a good question. What do you think happens when we die?
What do you think happens when we die? Well, if we believe in Jesus, we go to heaven.
We believe in Jesus. We go to heaven. Fantastic answer.
Yeah,
Favorite action movie?
Favorite what?
Favorite action movie?
Action movie. Oh, I like the Bond stuff.
Okay. Good. Do you have a favorite Bond? All of them?
Oh, Daniel Craig.
Oh, okay. Good Bond.
I think yeah.
Okay. Favorite smell, Greg?
Roses are good. Roses are good.
Okay. Good. Least favorite smell?
Your feet? No.
Good comeback.
Yeah, we'll do that one.
Okay. Exercise, worth it? Yes or no?
No, definitely
No.
not.
Oh, I'm surprised
No.
at that because you and Shirley, you're great walkers, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we love walking, but I mean anything above that.
Oh, okay. Anything where
Yeah.
you couldn't talk and do it at the same time, like running like that. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Flat or sparkling?
Oh, sparkling.
Sparkling, good. Most, I find this actually the most interesting question on the questionnaire. Most used app on your phone, Greg?
I think it's YouTube.
Okay. And what do you watch on YouTube?
Weird and wonderful stuff.
Okay.
Stuff to do with cars, stuff to do with lawnmowers, stuff to do with hoovers.
Oh, wow. Okay, lawnmower.
If you can review it, I'll watch it.
I bet I could do this 10,000 times. I'll never get somebody who says lawnmower videos on YouTube.
Yeah, if you can review it, I'll watch it.
You get, in fact, this actually ties for my two favorite questions on the questionnaire. You get one song to listen to for the rest of your life. What is that song?
Oh, no. Do you know, it would be, I can't remember right now, but it would be some classical, Mozart. What's that duet? There's a duet. Anyway, it would be that kind of stuff.
Don't asking me.
Yeah. Look, I just listen to it.
We got the wrong people on here. We're going to bring Mary and Griff back here. We're going to do that right away.
Yeah.
Mozart duets.
No, actually, I was just thinking that's a smart idea. In fact, I was thinking something really long, like a Wagner opera.
No.
I'd get into it more and more.
A whole lot of parts to it, so it doesn't repeat after 4 minutes.
Do I want to spend the rest of my life thinking about Brunhilde?
And Greg, final question. Describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
Wonderful. There's one word. But as far as my body goes, increasingly decrepit.
Okay. Wonderfully increasingly decrepit. You got 2 words.
Exactly.
Greg, thank you so much. It's just a very fun exercise to just see what your answer would be and spur the moments. Greg, nearly all the guests that have been on the show, we've asked them basically the one question, because COVID-19 is ubiquitous. It's about everything. It's over everything. It's informing everything. And so the question basically has been, how has your faith informed your response to COVID-19? And how have you personally sort of worked through the season?
Yeah, well, one of the things that I've realized is that COVID-19, how I've responded to it has changed over time.
Okay.
So at the very beginning, actually, on the day of the first case in Ireland, Shirley and I flew to Israel for 10 days.
I remember
which is crazy now when I think on it, but we were totally naive and we were very happy. We had a lovely time, but we came back and it was like all panic and everything was really crazy. So the first thing, I mean, initially it was, we were watching the television, we were seeing lorries with coffins on in Italy and terrible troubles in Spain. So firstly, there was that sense of praying for people who were so clearly suffering terribly. The other thing is we had to get up to speed with all sorts of weird and wonderful technology. I had hardly heard of Zoom. So I tell you now, there was a lot of praying for I laid hands on the computer, I think a lot. There was a lot of that, so it was a little bit like tonight.
Andrew could do some of that.
Yeah. Are you busy on Bible study, Greg?
So there was a lot of that kind of thing. So there was that sense of, we've got to trust God to keep us here because, we're going to run out of, we're going to get this. It might kill us. We're going to run out of things. And there was a lot of saying, we've just got to trust God here. We've got to hold on to our faith. And by the time we've got now, we're not panicking about technology, except you are, Andrew.
It's very time specific, though. It's just 1 hour every week, Greg. That really.
But I find now, there is a bit of me. I'm kind of a little bored. I'm a bit kind of want to get at things, but actually, I'm learning to submit. Because I can kick against this thing all I want, but we've got to submit. Got to learn that submission that God requires of us. So. As things have changed, my faith response has changed.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful for that,
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting you say that, because one of the things that strikes me about the season is, as the season drags on, obviously there's increasing frustration, which is completely understandable. But at the same token, at least personally, I find I've almost needed that length of time to really deal decisively with the issues I've had to deal with in my own kind of faith journey as well. It's almost as if it's a bit of a war of attrition that you can realize things need to change about your approach to life. But if things had moved too quickly, I might have recognized that in the moment, but not actually had to live into the process of it. Whereas, I don't know if that makes sense, but the 10 months has kind of forced me not only to see the issues that need to be worked with, but has forced me to kind of actually try and live into the rhythm of those realizations as well, off the back of that.
There's obviously a bit more to be done in you, Andrew, because I think we've got a couple more months.
Well, as soon as I get to the end, I'll let everybody know, and they can lift the restrictions. Greg, I'm so aware of your time.
Well, we'll cope.
I know you've got a Bible study, and I really want to get to this next point because this question struck me as a wonderful question to ask you, because what seems like a lifetime ago, you and I shared the stage at the Meanies Preach, where I came down. It was the first time I've been out in that open air field preaching, and a couple of things struck me about that moment. The one was how many people were there. There were a lot of people there. How many faces I recognized that had come all the way down to Meanies to be a part of that service. The other thing that struck me was I really couldn't nail down a message. And while people were gathering, and while the service was going and worship was happening, I was jotting down notes. And Shirley said to me, "I hope you're not writing your sermon." I didn't have the heart to tell you that's exactly what I was doing. Invited down to do that. But the real standout thing was when you got up and you shared your own testimony, and I was deeply touched by the story you told. It's so easy to see a reverend and a minister as somehow like this kind of woman or man of God, but you just brought like this incredible humanity of like what Jesus had meant to you personally and how he had framed your existence. Can you offer just in 5-7 minutes your testimony, Greg, of what Jesus means to you?
Yeah. My computer says 1934, so we'll get the timing here.
It was a good year.
Well, yeah. From I was born until I was 10 years old, I lived in 6 different families. Now, that's not 6 different houses, but actually 6 different families. And there's a whole detail there which I won't go into, but I was certainly a child who was passed around from family to family. My parents, they didn't want me, and I was passed around. Now, some of those families, they wanted me, they loved me, they looked after me, but some of those families didn't want me, didn't love me, and didn't really look after me. I mean, there certainly was a period when there was very real neglect. I could show you a picture of myself, and I don't have many pictures of myself as a child, but I remember seeing this photograph or I have it in the house actually, and I'm sitting down and I look, I've got great big knee joints. And I remember looking and thinking, why have I got such big knee joints? And I realized the child in the picture is so thin that my joints are large. You know, they look large proportionally. So, as I say, there was no abuse really, but there was neglect. But in between that, there was times, and one of the families that really wanted me and loved me and cared for me were my grandparents, my father's parents. And sadly, they died. Both of them died. That was one of the latter places I lived, and the both of them died 2 months apart when I was 9.5, 10. And I went to live with some foster parents. And actually, from then on, that's the only people I lived with. And I was really, really thankful. I had a social worker who was a Christian. He attended a Salvation Army church, and he was able to place me and worked hard because 10-year-old kids aren't very popular. There's not a good market for 10-year-old kids. You know, everybody wants babies. Yeah. So, but there's no doubt, strangely enough, I was a reasonably happy child, you know, and I've always been that being sad is just too much energy for me, you know. So believe it or not, in the midst of all that, I was a reasonably happy child. But certainly, all of that has its effect. In one family, I was used. I was involved in crime because I was used to smuggle stolen goods through customs, which is a whole big funny other story. But anyway, I might be drummed out of the Methodist ministry when this story gets out.
We're happy you're back this week to tell that story, Greg.
I think I was about 7 at the time, you know, but I was the guy carrying the kind of they figured that I was the customs people wouldn't stop a 7-year-old, you know, and they were probably right. But anyway, it leaves its mark, and educationally, it definitely left its negative mark, you know. But also, you know, insecurity and wanting to be loved and wanting everybody to like you, you know. And I was a very shy child, you know. I didn't want to be in the limelight at all, ever. But when I was 19, I'd left home. I was working in an agriculture college, actually. And I had a question. And the question that just came all the time was, who is Jesus? Now, I knew Jesus was important because the strange thing is that all of these 6 families, none of them were very interested in church, but they all believed that I should go to church and Sunday school. So it was kind of, you know, get this child some Christian input. Even if we don't believe, he needs to believe. And it didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I resented the fact that I was the only one who had to go, because in truth, I kind of found it a bit boring, or I just wanted to be out running around, you know. But anyway, I had this question. I was 19. I wanted to know, who is Jesus? So I got this paperback Good News Bible. You know, the one with the stick drawings?
Oh, yes. I remember that. Yeah. The black, yeah.
And I'm really thankful that it didn't start in Genesis, because I think Leviticus would have killed me, you know?
Well, it's got a high attrition rate, yeah.
Yeah. But it actually started in Mark's Gospel. And I just, every day I would read a tiny little section, and I would argue with it, because I thought, I want to know who Jesus is, but I don't want to believe this stuff, you know? I was arguing with it. But what was happening was, I was beginning to really, really just admire Jesus, and then without really knowing it, fall in love with Jesus. The character of Jesus became so attractive to me. And I remember I got to the end of Mark's Gospel. I remember actually reading the account of the crucifixion, and I knew about that stuff, but it really impacted me on an emotional level. It's like, this is awful. And then I read about the resurrection. I was so excited, you know. And I got to the end of Mark's Gospel, and I prayed. Now, I didn't really know what was praying, I mean, I just didn't really think this is proper praying, but I said, Jesus, I do believe you are who you say you are. And that was it. And I didn't, again, if you'd have said to me, well, what's a Christian? I don't know, I could have really explained it, but whatever a Christian was, I knew I was one. And I was so excited. I know lots of people come to faith in Christ and they don't feel any different, but I felt like, wow, this is amazing. And it had certainly immediate effects. One of the first things was I thought, wow, the creator of the universe loves me. So I don't need to please people anymore. This is amazing. I'm already loved. And that had a very, very powerful effect. I was quite bitter, I think, against my my birth parents, and quite angry, I think, at times. And slowly but surely, it wasn't dramatic, but there certainly into my heart came forgiveness, And I have met both my parents, very, very little really, but I have met them, and I remember thinking, I had a big speech and all, but actually, I pray that just by being with them and being normal and all the rest, that they perceived that if there was any bitterness ever there, it was gone, And again, because I realized, if God's forgiven me, then, and actually, the thing is for sure, they didn't mean to mess my life up. It wasn't their plan. They were two young people who found out they were pregnant and they didn't know what to do. So it's an interesting thing there. So that's really how I came to faith. And just the one last thing is, somewhere along the line, I prayed a prayer, Lord, whatever you want me to do, I'll say yes. Whatever I'm asked to do, I say yes and panic later. And actually, that's done. It's gotten me into a lot of trouble. It's given me loads of opportunities, and it's given me a good bit of excitement. So that's really, and for anybody listening, there's a recommended prayer. Just whatever, Lord, you want me to do, say yes and panic later.
Greg, that is absolutely brilliant. Greg, what would you say to somebody right now who might be struggling with their faith, especially in the season in which we're in?
Well, if they're struggling with their faith, it's just, one, hold on. Just hold on. And actually, you'll find as you hold on, he's holding you. Christ is holding you, But I'm a real believer in being open and honest. And I think I would say to someone, if you've got doubts in your heart, if you're angry with them or angry with some situation, tell them about it. Stomp around your room, kick the cat. No, don't kick the cat. Do whatever. But his shoulders are big enough to take your pain and your anger and your frustration. So that's something I think is important.
Greg, absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for your contribution. I know that you're in a rush to get to your Bible study.
I'm fine. Well, Shirley's going to deputize for me for a while, so. Okay.
Griff, Mary, any response to what Greg has said tonight? Just really solid, eh?
Yeah, beautiful. I said I'd had some Job moments over these last months, and I've had to scream and stomp a little bit myself.
Yeah.
And Greg, I love that. The sense of what actually, when it's all distilled down, the kind of beginning of it all was that you were just excited by the character of Christ. And I think for myself, that's where I want everybody. I'd love everybody just to get there. Cut away. I mean, so much of what kind of religion and faith has become is incidental, not necessary, and actually off-putting sometimes. And you really want to kind of move through all that and just get them to be in front of Christ, to see who he was and see perfect truth embodied, and then move from there.
Yeah, there's one of the things that makes me giggle is sometimes how people think that I really know what we should do and all the rest. And most of the time, I haven't a clue. I haven't a notion. I'm just following wherever Christ is leading as best as I can discern that and perceive that.
Yeah.
But I don't have the big plan. But the thing I'm sure about is that he loves me. That's what I'm sure about. And the rest of it, it's interesting trying to. I have this vision. I have this kind of scene in my mind. I'm a bit melodramatic, because I have this scene in my mind that I'd be lying on my deathbed, and of course people will be weeping all around me, and my last words will be, "I finally figured it out."
Put it on the gravestone with that explanation. I finally figured it out.
I finally figured it out, But I don't need to figure it out, because I am loved by him and led by him. And, even if I go down some wrong path with the right heart and the right motive, he loves the heart and the motive,
Absolutely, absolutely. Greg, we're going to cut to some music now. Thank you so much for your time this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. Mary Griff, we're going to move over to you. Greg, we're going to shift you off into the studio.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Thank you, everyone. I've really enjoyed this.
Thank you, Greg.
And I don't know how to get. I don't know how to get out of this program, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm going to move you off screen first. Once you got that, you can cut and run.
No problem. Bye.
Greg, go well tonight.
Bye.
Miriam Griff, fantastic stuff, eh?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, great. Are you guys good to lead us in our next song, which is Who Knows Where the Time?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Griff.
Across the evening sky, all the birds are leaving. But how can they know it's time for them to go? Before the winter far, I will still be dreaming. I have no thought of time, for who knows where the time goes? Who knows where the time goes?
Sand deserted shore, your fickle friends are leaving. But then it's time for them to go. But I will still be here. I have no thought of leaving. I do not count the time. For who knows where the time goes? Who knows where the time goes?
And I am not alone. All my love is near me. I know it will be so until it's time to go. So come the storms of winter, and then the birds of spring again. I have no fear of time. And who knows
Who knows how my love grows? Who knows where the time goes? Where the time goes.
Sure. Goodness, that was incredibly moving. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much, Griff.
Thanks.
Oddly enough, like fits in perfectly with some of the themes. I want to pick up on Captain Tom, because as I read his story on the same day on my timeline, you know what Facebook does? It throws up old posts that you 5-7 years ago, and sometimes that's really good, and sometimes you kind of think, oh my goodness. It's a shame that you ever posted that, you know. But this came up, and this is a sweet poem. Captain Tom reminded me, or this poem reminded me of Captain Tom, and also an individual who I will speak about next. The poem is titled, "As I Grow Old, I Will March, Not Shuffle." I don't know if you've heard this poem.
No.
I want to read it to you, and it goes like this. "As I grow old, I will not shuffle to the beat of self-interest and make that slow retreat to the right. I will be a septuagenarian insurrectionist, marching with the kids. I shall sing La Marseillaise whilst brandishing homemade placards that proclaim down with this sort of thing. I will be an octogenarian obstructionist and build unscalable barricades from bottles of flat lemonade, tartan blankets, and chicken wire. I will hurl prejudice upon the brazier's fire. I will be a nonagenarian nonconformist, armed with a ballpoint pen and a hand that shakes with rage, not age, at politicians' latest crimes and strongly worded letters to the Times. I will be a centenarian centurion and allow injustice no admittance. I will stage long-standing sit-ins. My mobility scooter and I will move for no one. And when I die, I will be the scattered ashes that attach themselves to the lashes and blind the eyes of racists and fascists." Isn't that beautiful?
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So David Bolston, the guy who wrote that poem, is known as the poet laureate of Twitter. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I do not know. But I absolutely love that poem. As we think about that poem, we think about Captain Tom. We want to recognize. Bill Reedy says he can identify with that. Bill, yeah, I can see that, Bill. I can see that. But we want to recognize today as well our very own hero, Cork Methodist Church's own inspiration, to Bert Leving, who turned 98 yesterday. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, Bert.
Happy birthday, Bert. He is watching. I met with him today, and he is watching. And even though you cannot we cannot gather with you, I arranged a little birthday cake for Bert. So, Bert, on your behalf, I'm going to blow up his candle for 98 years. I'm also going to, on your behalf, eat the cupcake as well. Please note that one candle symbolizes itself and 97 other candles. Because if I lit 98 candles, I'm sure I'd be breaking some health and safety regulation. And if I blew out 98 candles, I would definitely just collapse on this table anyway. So, Bert, congratulations, happy birthday, 98 years. But when we think about Captain Tom, we are still waiting for you to raise your £32 million, Bert. Maybe that's coming in the coming year, and to sing your hit song. So, Bert, congratulations. And we wish you all the best for the coming year. Bert is a man whose life has been filled with accomplishments. You may know this, perhaps not. Bert won the Table Tennis World Championships in his age division when he was in his 80s. Can you believe that? Fantastic. He traveled, I don't know where it was. I should have asked him today. He traveled and he beat out stiff but much younger competition, guys who were in their mid-70s, and took the title. So, Bert, that, and then today again, Bert, you were regaling me with stories of how you contracted cancer in your 40s, came through that, and when your doctor said, "Aren't you concerned?" your response was, what is the value in worrying, which I think is pretty sound advice for us today as well. So, Bert, again, happy birthday to you. I'm going to ask Miriam Griff, will you sing for Bert happy birthday a cappella?
We can do that. A cappella.
Oh, no. If you're sorry, I just.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bert. Happy birthday to you.
Bert, hooray!
Hooray!
Bert, happy birthday. And while we are on the topic of congratulating people, you may have noticed we are missing one of the usual suspects. Drew had another engagement, so he had to drop out early. But he reminded us it is Basil and Daphne's wedding anniversary today. When pressed for exact numbers, he fudged. It looked, correct me if I'm wrong, he looked like a man who didn't really know. He gave that impression. So Basil and Daphne, get back to us with exactly what we guess in some way low 40s is where we are. I think we settled at around 42, but don't hold Drew to that.
He said he would have remembered if it was a round number in his defense.
Yeah. I would have thought 42 was a round number, but like a really round number. Yeah. We end tonight's show with a couple of requests. We had one through from Heather T. That is based on the prayer of St. Francis. So, Mary and Griff, are you happy to lead us in Make Me a Channel of Your Peace? And then we'll move from that into our closing song.
You going to sing?
1, 3.
Sure.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. O Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving to all men that we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life. O Master, grant that I may never see so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy.
Mary Griff, thank you. Beautiful rendition of an absolutely fabulous song. Heather, I hope you enjoyed that whenever you watch it. I don't think you always watch on a Wednesday evening. I think sometimes you catch it on a Thursday. But whenever you do, I hope that was good for you. I'm actually really looking forward to the next song. The next song was a request through from the Hogan family. Our thoughts go out to them because both Sue and Heidi are in the late stages of recovering from COVID. And I know Sue, I spoke to her yesterday, struggling a little bit. Sue, we pray that you're having a good day today. But a little bit earlier on in the week, you sent through very simple sheet music for a sung version of the Lord's Prayer that you remember from, if I remember correctly, from your Zimbabwe days. And I just immediately, being the messenger that I am on Soul Sessions, I just passed it on to the experts, asked them if they'd pick up on it, and Mary and Griff willingly said that they would. So I really look forward to us ending tonight's episode of Soul Sessions with this version of the Lord's Prayer. Mary, Griff, you guys want to take it away?
Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen.
Again, Mary Griff, absolutely lovely. And that is completely a song that we could cover in church.
Yeah, thank you, Heidi.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah, so we can definitely keep that one in the bag and pull it out for Sunday worship as an alternative to the sung Lord's Prayer. We have run over tonight. We apologize for that. It doesn't help when you start at 7:10 in fairness. So here we go. Heidi, yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. And again, as we said earlier, may you recover fully, especially for confirmation, which starts on Sunday. So so did well for that. Mary Griff, you guys have a cracking end to your week. Everybody else out there, stay safe. We will see you next week, same place, roughly the same time, and we'll have another guest in our studio, more songs to sing, and we will together get through this season, God willing. Mary Griff, do you guys want to say good night?
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Aaron is deep into the Sound of Music, so all I have going through my mind is so long, farewell.
Zadie, yeah, Sound of Music is big here too.
Oh,
We do Edelweiss. We're good at Edelweiss.
Okay, so for church, we'll do that Lord's Prayer. Don't worry, be happy, and when the bee stings, when. No.
Yeah. We are 16. I'm sure there'll be no complaints if we did that. Absolutely no. Anyway, we're going to end the stream now, guys. Have a cracking week. Debbie, thank you. We love you too. Everybody else there, share the love. Stay strong, stay safe, and be at peace. Bye for now.